All right, what I have here down below is the Iraqi dinar. I'm going to show you another similarity here, another fractal truth. Look at the head, look at the crown, look at the helmet in which this being is wearing, and tell me if you see any similarities to this capital right beside it. I do. Absolutely. Now, let's once again see that even atop of the capital, of the crown, what do we have? That piercing rod. In other words, that uni horn, the unicorn. This is symbolizing Ephraim, English Ephraim, America, America Bala. Exactly right, America Bala. This is how they're going to achieve their divinity, by piercing this luminous serpent through the destruction of America. Exactly right. Another unihorn atop the crown head of the English Ephraim, telling you the fulfillment of what they believe once they achieve this path right here. Now, this phallus represents the Holy Grail. Not the Grail like they've taught you to believe that it was some goblet. Okay, first it was some cup. All right, once they couldn't get people to believe that any longer, then they shifted. The new deception is now the Holy Grail is supposedly the lineage of Jesus Christ through that of Mary Magdalene. That's a load of BS. That's a cock and bull story right there. Jesus Christ never had sexual relationship with Mary Magdalene. But, of course, you're going to see that being promoted and pumped up to keep you diverted in understanding what this search of the Holy Grail was really all about. The search of the Holy Grail is all about the Serpent Kings, these ancient demigod mighty men, men of old, men of renown, and coming to get their genetics, coming to get their DNA, so that they could use this DNA later to clone a body in which this fallen prince could inhabit. That's what it's about. That's what the search for the Holy Grail is. That is why these beings had the foresight to entomb themselves and to preserve their genetic material so that it could be used as a part of the great work to give this being a body. He can't come into a normal body by the birth of a man and a woman. He can't do that because man and woman have been given dominion over the earth. So as long as this seal is in place, the very atoms, the very egg, the very sperm of man will reject the inhabitation or the possession of this fallen light being. So they must use the genetics of the beings that were in the book of life, that became written out of the book of life as a result of the union of the sons of God with the daughters of men in Genesis 6. They need that fallen material of man that's been combined already with these Anunnaki to use as the material to make his life form out of. And that's the search for the Holy Grail. That's what the phallus represents. It represents that the DNA, the genetics of these ancient beings that they need to bring this being into a material form. That's what it's all about. All right. So now that we've got that out of the way, and you can see the horn there, you see the horn there, and now you see the horn piercing the top of Ephraim. Now let's look at what America means. America literally means, at its very root word, its very root words that have been joined together, it means full of race. America means full of race. Very interesting, because that's going to be the fulfillment of what Genesis chapter 48 is as it's concerning Ephraim. Verse 19. And his father refused and said, I know it, my son, I know it. He also shall become a people, and he also shall be great. But truly his younger brother shall be greater than he, and his seed shall become a multitude of nations. He's talking about Ephraim shall become a multitude of nations. In other words, America full of race.